Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood 622-DCRM. This is a typical garden variety sort of door viewer from Rockwood, except that it's the 622 series, so it's larger than the smaller one. This has a 190-degree field of view and is also going to require a 9/16 hole. This is, just to give you the shotgun review here, I suppose, DCRM is dull chrome around its bezel. This is going to be approved for use in fire-rated doors, and that label is mandatory to have on a viewer. If you have a fire-rated door and you install a viewer that does not bear a label, which means it's listed because it's been tested by the testing laboratory, it's not permissible for use on a fire door, and in fact, you no longer have a fire door. Under the duress of a fire door assembly inspection, the inspector, the auditor, the fire door auditor inspector is going to request that representative of the building physically remove the viewer from the door to inspect whether or not it's labeled. So be mindful that's there not because of any reason other than attesting to the fact that this item has been tested. This is available in different finishes, and we'll go over that. This is going to work on doors as thin as 1 3/8 and as thick as 2 1/8, they say. If I turn it three times, yeah, that'll get you to 2 1/8. Okay. So nice door range, 1 3/8, 1 3/4, even 2-inch, relatively common. Now, when you're installing this, you're going to want to be quite mindful to drill the hole accurately and without tearing the face of the door off. That's the white box that it comes in, by the way. That's because the OD of the inside ring is 0.685. So basically 11/16. The diameter of the body is 0.546. So they want a 9/16 hole. Okay, so you really only have 2/16, 1/8 of an inch to play with before you get to that outside dimension. So you need to be, what I'm driving at is the hole needs to be drilled in the right location and drilled without collateral damage around that hole. So you'll want to make a very clean hole. A lot of ways to go about doing that. You might use a Forstner bit. That gives a clean starting hole generally. If you have a paddle or a fly or a spade bit with outside cutters, you can carefully score the outside of that hole before you plunge right in. Don't use a jobber's drill bit. That twist drill bit will it'll open it up too much, especially with an open grained wood like mahogany or Luan, if you still bump into Luan, or any of the oaks, things of that nature. So walnut could be dreadful to tear through, so be mindful. Or if it's a steel door, that's easy. Center punch it and just run it with a hole saw. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But the issue with drilling the hole is that you have to drill it in the right location on both sides of the door. The outside of the diameter, the outside diameter of the exterior is 1.028. 1.028 out here. So what you could do, probably wouldn't be a problem if you drill straight, is mark your hole and then use like an 1/8 of an inch jobber's length drill bit to go through the door, okay, and mark your outside hole. I wouldn't have too much trouble with that. If you're going to mark from both sides, drill through each side towards the middle, but you need to be quite careful where you are locating that hole. Let's switch to the screen view where we can kind of look at the supporting documentation but immediately address the concern about where to drill the hole. So this is the item that we're looking at. Where to drill the hole, just simply what I'm driving at is you have to be mindful of where you're going to put that hole. And what I've drawn here is just 4 different door edges: a square edge door, a beveled edge door, a rabbited door, and a radius door. You know, obviously this one and this one you're going to bump into all the time. What I'm driving at is if you have a 3-foot door, actually measure the width of the door. Let's say it's 35 3/4. Well, you're going to be at 17 7/8 from the edge of the door to the center of the hole. And if you measure 17 7/8 on the other side, you're going to be at the same location. Well, if you pull that trick on a beveled edge door, you'll have a hole here, and then you're going to have a hole here. So you want to be careful. And neither of the holes will actually be in the correct location because the back set is measured from the center of the thickness. The reason I'm drawing this to your attention is it applies to mortise lock function holes, exit device function holes, cylindrical locks. So if you have a beveled edge door, you know, where you have a 3-degree bevel on, you know, the door, where there's literally the distance from here to here is what they call 1/8 in 2. So for every 2 inches in door thickness, there's an 1/8 of an inch reveal that's happening on that door, or, you know, so be mindful of where you drill that. That's a rabbited edge door. You'll be careful there, and you're not really going to see radius edge doors when it comes to putting a door viewer in it, but I suppose you might. Who knows? Everything is out there at some point, so be careful where you're going to prep that. So let's take a look back at our item, the Rockwood 622. Let's look at the other finishes that are available. 622. Okay, so you're going to do this in the ANT antique bronze, BRS for polished brass, CRM for bright chrome, DCRM for dull chrome, and then STNN for satin nickel. And that really just applies to this bezel that's out here. Just out here. And obviously to what you see on the inside as well. Okay. Oops. So here's our DCRM, the one we're working on. Be mindful of where you install the material given the application. Are you going to be, you know, ADA compliant? Do you have to be at ADA compliant? And 43 inch would be a really good place to put that from the floor. Standard, like in your home, it can be at 60 inch. But be mindful, you know, install it according to the users. If you have a family of 6'2" and above, you might find that a little short. If you're all more like my family, where we dwell in the solid mid-5s, you might want it a little bit shorter because someone in the family is likely to be closer to 5'2". Anyway, if there's no governing agency that requires or defines where you place that, then put it where you want. The specifications we've gone over are here. Product brochure is here, and that's nice because it's going to allow you to see the other products related to this. Here's our 622 with no inside cover. You can get a 626, which is nice because it'll be a 622 on the outside with a privacy shield on the inside. That has been very popular and common the last so many years. There have been stories in the news in the last few years of people being able to reverse door viewers and do awful things, being able to criminally encroach on people's privacy. Also, these covers are nice because it just blocks out shadow as well. So someone standing on the outside won't see if it's occupied or not. So privacy viewers, very common. Frankly, I don't see why you wouldn't have one, with the exception is it does drive the cost. If you are doing this in your home, I would suggest that you order it, unless, of course, you have big pieces of glass all around the door, then it doesn't matter. Or if you're doing a hotel and there's 300 that you need and the spec called 622, I can't make an argument for you absorbing the extra cost of having a privacy viewer. But if you do buy the 622 and then realize, gosh, I really wanted that privacy viewer, you can order the 622 VC, and that will give you the cover only. The other viewers that are on here are the tiny ones, the 160 degree. That's the 619 series, and what changes about those is the range of door that they're compatible with. So you could literally have a door that's, 1 inch thick. Well, your door won't be 1 inch thick, but your panel would be 1 inch thick. In your paneled, you might have a single panel shaker style entry door, on your door, and you're going to need a door viewer capable of something smaller than the typical 1.75 inch. Door ranges here, other finishes are here, and when you do the 160 degree, you'll notice that it's a 1/2 inch hole that you're drilling. Thankfully, they do have the 190 degree that will give you that thinner door range, a much thinner door range as well, so be mindful of that. The 627, 28, and 29 are nice because they have what's called a heavy-duty privacy cover. You would absolutely want this in a hotel because you could grab that and literally pull it up and destroy the hardware because that's just a small riveted pivot point. That's a much more durable riveted pivot point. However, it's only available in the bright chrome CRM finish. So there are your different options from Rockwood. There's a template that's here, and it's just going to give us dimensional properties of our units, which are nice to have. We've already covered this information. Okay. Then there's a link here to the manufacturer's page, and that link is very handy as it will allow you to not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog as seen here. Other encyclopedic documents are here, prior catalogs, master template index, mounting kit parts table is here as well. The core Rockwood product line is here. Their architectural door pull line is here. I have a mid-century Rockwood catalog, late 1950s, that I'll eventually get scanned and uploaded to this manufacturer's page as well. This is a video I did how I appreciate and sing the praises of Rockwood because of their exceptional ability to do practically every weird thing that I've ever asked them to do, including making a custom faceplate for an electrified deadbolt, something that Rockwood does not make at all. Just a great group over there. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Okay, in conclusion, nice quality door viewer from Rockwood. It's just typical and generic sort of material, obviously. It's just a door viewer. And you won't really appreciate how capable, dependable, predictable, reliable, enjoyable working with Rockwood is until you draw on them for something that's truly unusual. What I deal with a lot of different manufacturers. Some people really understand the product. Others wouldn't know a hammer from a screwdriver, or from an orange for that matter. They're all good people, but the folks at Rockwood, they do one thing, and they do it very well. They know their product line, how it's manufactured, what their limitations are, what they can do and what they can't do, and they are clear and upfront. And when it comes to the world of prompt, reliable, predictable shipping lead times, no one approaches Rockwood. You can almost say that you can set your clock by them. They are a manufacturer. Much of what they make is made to order. They import some stuff as well from a BAA compliant sort of arrangement. So they do have about a 10-page, 3-day quick ship list. But plan ahead. There's no reason to have lead time be something that you're struggling with. Simply plan ahead. Any questions on the Rockwood 622 DCRM door viewer or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.